Have you ever felt like your world was coming to an end, as though the most catastrophic event was occurring right there and then, only to check yourself and realize it was over a presentation or a breakup? Perhaps you never even got to the moment of realization to overlook what you were reacting to. Maybe all you could do was feel what was going on in your mind and body. It is this very survival response we will be discussing today. How to shift our body's overreactionary nervous system to only give this hardwired stress response when actual safety is at risk. This way, we can identify the difference between actual and present danger versus a threat your mind is imagining or predicting. It's often seen that people's nervous systems have not deciphered the difference yet, as their mind plays signals of extreme danger when simply ordering a cup of coffee. Signals that should only come when your life is truly at stake. For this reason, I cultivated a simple 3-step process that will rewire our neurological signals to tell apart actual danger versus perceived threats. This 3-step practice consists of stillness, assessment, and direct action. Through this process, you will learn how to practically handle any and all emotions through different levels of action and analysis. An act done by looking at what is mentally, emotionally, and physically going on. This skill develops into a habit and is what we will call emotional regulation. Now, the steps we will be using in this video use the core concepts of my prior, a lesson that explained what emotional maturity is and how it's made up of awareness, regulation, empathy, and social skills. Today, we will be developing this emotional maturity by combining awareness and empathy to equal emotional regulation. Specifically, using practical steps of intentional focus and curiosity to learn ourselves in order to take beneficial action. This is a complete commitment to your sense of safety and security at all levels. But first, you must learn yourself in order to actually know what is needed and wanted to thrive. So how do we do this? Step 1, stillness, the act of making time and space. This lays out the groundwork for patience and objectivity, necessary components your mind must learn. Here we're reducing the compulsive and overreactive side to our emotions. To understand why this drive exists, we can observe its root in a survival mechanism. This part of our brain and nervous system that alerts us to immediate danger and instinctively goes to preserve life. Though it is this practice we will choose to respond to a signal of threat instead of reacting to it. By choosing to still yourself instead of taking the instinctual and immediate action, you build nervous system safety, linking security with stillness instead of security with reactivity, a step-starving impulse, and feeding patience. Here we learn emotions don't need a reaction, and this strengthens our mental capacity to encounter complex situations and be in control of them, thus allowing analysis and empathy before action. This will benefit you when it comes to connections with yourself as well as other people, simply by being able to choose what you want to understand. So, how do we do this and when? Right now, do me a favor. You can close your eyes for a few seconds. Notice your breath. Feel a sensation. Maybe how you're sat or the way your clothes rest on your body. Observe it. Don't judge it. Just sit with it. That is stillness in action. Now you can open your eyes if you engaged in that practice. And I want to take a quick pause. The 3 steps in this video, I use this in every one-on-one coaching session I have. It builds client strength like nothing else. If everyday life and connections hijack your nervous system and you're ready for genuine and lasting change, I'm your regulation coach. I optimize the mind and body through the nervous system being regulated. And for people ready to break free from reactive patterns, email me directly. Available in the description for a personalized strategy session. Now, jump back in. With this direct experience of how to, you can practice stillness the moment any emotion comes up. As soon as you feel the sensation, the instant you feel anything, you get present. You feel into it, you don't react. You observe it, but you don't judge it. No matter how big, how small, or relatively neutral it may appear, you're training your mind to handle it all. The act of showing yourself that feelings are nothing but an occurrence, and they are just but information your mind has put together. It's a great mental exercise to prove to yourself you can handle anything your mind and body throws your way. This providing the initial sense of security for your nervous system in order to address what is appearing, where you can then move on to the second step of this practice, analysis. As mentioned, we gain the ability for analysis only once we have the necessary resilience in order to be objective with our emotions. A good note regarding this is not only are we preventing hasty action, but we will also naturally reduce the opportunity of getting overwhelmed in our feelings and sensations, especially getting lost in emotional spirals. All by showing our mind and body that the idea of a threat does not equal your life immediately at stake. Giving yourself no reason to immediately act, the need is lessened, and you don't have to do anything because nothing is risking your life in front of you. Through this, we see emotions as our feelings for what they are. Chemical responses that alert you of perceived benefit or destructive stimuli. By sitting with these sensations and observing them to see what they're saying and what thinking invoked them, it's here we can directly acknowledge what real danger versus uncomfortable circumstances are. This is a place of more insight, leading to intelligent and thoughtful actions instead of hasty, instinctual miscalculations. In immediate physical danger, those compulsions are what keep you alive. It's a fantastic survival technique. It's a quick, temporary solution to remove the threat or ourselves. That said, it has no reason because time is of the essence. It doesn't account for long-term solutions. It just wants you to get in enough safety for this moment. For that reason, this reactive tendency fails to account for reasoning of many things. Reasoning of, is your safety actually at risk? aka the accuracy. While also failing to account for reasoning of other solutions, perhaps more intelligent and more discerning solutions like communication. This is because of the reactive portion of our brain is meant to signal life or death threats immediately without reconsideration. But when we get these from simple everyday activities, it definitely calls for reevaluation. So, how else will we be honest with ourselves or face our fears? How else will we keep from stagnating and staying stuck and running in constant discomfort? It's only through direct investigation that we can grow and become stronger, better suited for healthy living. To live a life where we're not just surviving and getting by, but we're thriving and living our best life. All done by acknowledging the feelings and thoughts don't equal real peril. It's by examining what is triggering our security to actually create it. So here we can actually see the difference between real danger and a perceived one. Now, perceived threats should not be the only thing this practice can be used on, as our brain can misinterpret even beneficial things sometimes. So, with that said, if you can habitually show your mind that any feeling is okay to acknowledge, that these signals are but information, we can start to see our emotions not as threats, but as an opportunity to approach and engage with, as the mind can look at every emotional signal as information to analyze rather than a conclusive fact to run with. This viewpoint of emotions not being fact immediately reduces the urgency your mind once created. This allows for your sense of safety to occur. Safety amplified by recognizing opportunity for more security and the ability to take action. So if we can stop for just a moment, recollect, recenter, and analyze, you might find out you're okay, you're safe, and you do have opportunity for harmonious fulfillment. All from opening up to yourself and asking questions and creating not just more clarity, but peace. Realistically, there is a reason these normal occurrences trigger extreme emotions, even relatively large emotions getting catastrophized. Somewhere, our consequences got associated to it being horrible if something happened. Our safety got threatened. So we have to look at this from a calm-headed space to see where those beliefs came from. Was it something we heard or we were told? Was it something we watched and started to copy subconsciously? Or was it something we came to on our own through points of view we had access to? Here we are believing, we are seeing where we believe, where it came from, and then seeing the accuracy of the bigger picture. Is it as bad or as good as we thought? And is it even going to affect us at all? By combining stillness and analysis, we use many skills that our brain needs to build emotional maturity and learn regulation. Such skills include observation, interpretation, resilience, curiosity, openness, willingness, along with willpower and strategic thinking, all of which allow you to be more present and allow you to act in accordance to your true safety and security. So the next time you feel your heart racing or your body heating, immediately take a moment, acknowledge the sensations, the thoughts, feel into it and what is currently present, and take it for what it is. Observe it, and when you're ready, expand. Get curious. What are you thinking, feeling, and where did it come from? Through this process, try to consistently remind yourself no actions need to be done right now. You are safe to feel, and nothing is too urgent that your life is on the line. If that were the case, the only thing you should be doing is getting real, immediate help. Given your life is not on the line and in any physical real danger, you can take that time to show and tell yourself how you are safe to experience these sensations. This is best done by removing yourself from any distractions, electronics, people, stimuli such as noisy environments and bright lights. You want to create an intentional place to feel the sensations as well as your thoughts. To make this a little easier, I want to make a simple way for analysis of emotions to be broken down. This can be done by looking at feelings through two factors, impact and effect. Here you're analyzing how large of an impact will occur, while also analyzing whether that would be leading to a positive or negative effect. Just like if you were to drop something into a lake, the size of the ripple sent out will depend on how large the impact is. For example, dropping a small pebble in will create little ripples, aka minimal impact. But a boulder would create huge waves, huge impact. This is a direct representation of how much your well-being is thought to be affected. Additionally, it reveals how true you think it is. A lie, fantasy, theory, or fact. All of which will determine how intense or restrained the emotions will materialize. Now, in impact, we're going to see how we're affected and how much that will be. But we also have to consider, is this effect going to lead to a positive or negative consequence? This is where we see impact with effect. Is it going to support you or damage you? Let's do a quick test. Think of today's biggest stressor. What would you rate its impact? Was it a pebble, a boulder, perhaps a whole landslide? What would you say its effect was? Harmful? Helpful? What kind of changes occurred? You can directly see your own benefits or your own belief of its benefit or hurt onto you through the peaceful or stressful emotions when thinking about the circumstance. Many times we can have both, so it's important to analyze multiple views as many times as applicable until you have an understanding with all of yourself and your perspectives. As for a quick example, you might feel a boulder of joy about an upcoming birth, but also a heavy rock of fear towards what you may lose in freedoms and time. By holding space for completely opposite feelings, we can see all thoughts and mentally get on the same page to make sure all needs and fulfillments are met. As this is what this practice is truly about. We're not looking to just understand ourselves for the sake of knowledge alone. We look to understand so that we can change what needs to be changed. To loyally commit to ourselves and keeping ourselves safe with all needs met. This means choosing actions that support our growth and fulfillment where it was once lacking. This is the practice of stillness and analysis, something that uses self-assessment and empathy to regulate. With that said, there will be times you come across this practice and emotions and sensations you have no idea why or where they came from appear. That is, you won't know initially. As you see, there's this fun thing we call the subconscious mind, which holds a large, and I mean large 90-some% of your thoughts and functions. A place where information does not have to process consciously, though we can make it visible to the conscious mind. For this reason, emotions serve as a tool of light to the subconscious, to unveil information we have locked in our nervous system, and to decide if it's best to reframe it or keep it. So it's true, we have many subconscious thoughts, beliefs, and identities, some positive, some negatively causing havoc. It is why we have the opportunity to stumble upon the unknown of our mind, that we have the chance to be present and observe the information we have buried away. It is by this we acknowledge and understand what has been going on in the background of our mind and nervous system, so we can begin to regulate not just present emotions, but our entire nervous system. Having said that, it is vital when engaging with any perspective to do so neutrally and with respective validation. Emotions are always subjectively true, but not always objective. This means reactions will accurately express what the person believes to be true, each emotional response fully justified within that belief system, where it reflects the perceived threat or support encountered. Think of those celebrity bait clips, where on one it looks like two people kissing from one angle, but then from the big camera you see they're just casually chatting 5 feet apart. Emotions are just like that. They tell you what's true from your angle. Whether that matches the bigger picture of reality depends on how much of the picture you've seen and considered. For this reason, a moment of pause and reflection is key when dealing with any emotion, positive, negative, your own or others, as we want to make actions based on correct information, not misunderstandings and conclusions we jump to. So, if that's the case, we need all the information we can get. That said, you can uncover so much through your own reactions, and it is by doing this, we use emotions as the tools they were made as, to help us understand what is best for our survival and make the action towards it, this ensuring our survival and ability to thrive. All by taking the healthy control needed to really live. So, are you ready to rewire yourself for maturity? If so, let's go over these 3 practical steps. Step 1, patience and stillness. Here, the body learns safety and the necessary resilience needed to be objective to address feelings. Step 2, assessment. Analysis provides in-depth understanding of the thoughts and feelings, so that way we can compare the accuracy of our identities and beliefs to reality. And step 3, only after introspection can you take action beyond observation. Here you take what you learned and apply it to directly make choices that will support your safety and well-being. Here we can learn that we're the sole person to be responsible and accountable for our personal narrative, our feelings. So we have to walk that role of leadership all on our own. And through this leadership, we commit to the actions needed to maintain optimal survival and safety. Whether this means making moves to be in better suited connections and environments, or simply reframing your own inner mind so it can be more objective and accurate, choices are made to benefit your survival in order to keep yourself regulated. It was here we learned how to be patient with ourselves and to see the multiple perspectives within our mind, where we validated our experience and also lovingly challenged it. This is what real empathy looks like, to take time to understand and care for yourself. Once you've stabilized in this practice and made it a habit, you can begin to incorporate this with others, where you can begin to build optimal connections with you and all parties to thrive in, all by choosing to learn and account for another individual besides your own. Our last and final video of this topic of emotional maturity will go over the social collaboration that is inevitable to occur. A video specifically honing in on the personal responsibility and accountability all parties have in the connection. Stay posted if you're looking to learn more on optimizing the skills we use every day, and so you can have healthy social interactions, all while staying emotionally sovereign and secure. Thank you for watching, and if this helped you to take back more control, my one-on-one coaching sessions go much deeper and more personalized for regulation strategies for every area of your life. Email me, found in the description. Take care. Bye.